Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Emma. Today's video, as you can probably tell from the title and the thumbnail, is going to be a favourites video. I actually haven't filmed a favourites video for a little while, and I wanted to film one and just talk you through all the things that I've been loving throughout September and also through October as well. I know we're not quite at the end of October yet, but I want to include some stuff that's relatively new to me, but I'm really loving. Also, I thought I'd switch up locations today. I'm actually filming in my living room. I thought I'd film in front of our autumn Halloween-y themed fireplace, just give those October vibes. Also, normally I film in the bedroom and the lighting in there is not great today, so I thought I'd film in the living room because I have a window like directly ahead of me. You know, it's that time of year where we're struggling with light. We don't get a lot of daylight at the moment. But yeah, I'm just going to talk you through all the things that I've been loving for the past couple of months. We've got some beauty favourites, and then some just like really random favourites, and then as always I like to mention some music favourites. Without further ado, let's just get on into the favourites. Okay, so I'm going to start off with beauty, and the first thing that I've really been loving is the Beauty of Joseon Relief Sun SPF 50. It just looks like this. Like, as you can see, the bottle's pretty much almost empty. I have actually got a new one to open, but I picked this up because I was in need of a new SPF. I picked this one up because it was actually a little bit more affordable, and I've heard a lot of people talk about this, and I really love it. It comes out like a cream, like a nice soft, almost like a water cream, and it's just really nice and light on the skin. With a lot of SPFs, I find they can be quite greasy, and for someone like me who already has oily skin, adding like a greasy SPF to my face before I apply makeup just never goes very well for me. It's just more like a cream. It doesn't have like that greasy feeling. It does still give like a bit of sheen to the skin like most SPFs do, but it sinks in really nicely and hydrates the skin, and obviously it's offering protection. I do, if I'm wearing this under makeup, do put this on, and then I will leave it for like 10 minutes minimum. I do this with like all SPFs before I apply my makeup, just because I feel like that works best for my skin, and I just like to give the SPF a chance to really sink in to the skin before I go in for makeup. But yeah, it just feels really nice. I find makeup applies really nicely on top of it. It doesn't interfere with my makeup at all. The other thing that I really love about it is it doesn't have that SPF scent. I have quite sensitive eyes, and sometimes with SPFs, when I apply them, they can make my eyes water, and I find with this SPF it doesn't do that. Yeah, it just doesn't feel very sensitive around my eyes, which actually means I can go a little bit closer to my eyes, because normally with SPF I have to almost apply them like only up to here, whereas with this, like, I can go a little bit closer to my eyes and it doesn't irritate them, which I really appreciate. So yeah, I'm really loving this. Also, I will say this is pretty affordable. I think it's under £15, and this has lasted me like a good couple of months, and I wear SPF every day. Like, even like now that we're in autumn, I'm still wearing SPF every day. Also, I don't think it's breaking me out, because I also apply SPF before I go on runs, and sometimes I find, especially with me running and sweating when I've got SPF on, I find it can break me out, and I find this doesn't break me out. So all around, just a really good sunscreen that I'd really recommend. I've only tried a little bit of Korean skincare, but so far what I have tried from Korean skincare brands, my skin seems to really like, so I might need to try some more. Okay, so the next thing that I want to mention is a makeup favourite, and it's the only makeup favourite I have for this video, and that is the Kylie Cosmetics Skin Tint. It just looks like this. I actually really love the packaging. It just feels really nice, and it's actually quite nice and like small, so if you're travelling, it's really good. Will say I do think it gives more of a medium coverage, especially for a skin tint, but it doesn't feel heavy on the face, which I really like. It just gives a really nice even coverage, kind of evens out the skin tone. It can cover up like old marks. If I've got like a really angry blemish, it's not going to cover that, but I don't mind that. I don't want it to cover that. I will happily go in with a concealer where I just need a little bit of extra coverage, but it feels really nice on the skin. I will also say this lasts really nicely on my skin. A lot of skin tints I find are marketed towards the idea of like wanting glowy, hydrated, radiant skin, and with somebody with oily skin, I struggle with that, because I need something that's gonna like look nice and even out my skin tone, and I don't want anything heavy, but I need it to be able to last on my skin, and I find this lasts really nicely. Just has this little pipette, and I just put little like blobs on my face. I will say I do kind of have to like hold my face back because it is quite a liquidy formula, and you are meant to shake it before use as well. But yeah, like I said, it's a liquidy formula, so it will kind of run down my face, and I do just have to work quite quickly with it. I do tend to blend it in with a brush. I find that's how it works best. The one thing I will say is I've got the shade 2C, and I think it's a little bit too cool toned for me. I am wearing it right now, and I think I can make it work with like when I go in with bronzer and blusher and concealer and things, but when it first goes on it does look a bit scary on me because it is very, very pale. When I finish this and I do want to get a new one, I will have to try out some different shades, but yeah, I really like it. I do think it's around the £30 mark, which is pretty standard for a higher ended branded base product, but I feel like it's lasting me really well, and I feel like you get a good amount of product in here. Yeah, you get 30 mils, which I feel like is pretty standard for like a foundation or skin tint. But yeah, I really, really like it. I've not really tried anything Kylie Cosmetics, but I really like the skin tint. I think it works really, really nicely. And then continuing on the theme of celebrity beauty brands, I have a perfume I want to mention. Now, this is relatively new to me. I've only had this for a week, but I really, really love it. So I did want to mention it because it is going to be my autumn winter perfume, and that is the Rare Perfume by Rare Beauty. I only have this small one. I bought like this little set off Space & K, so it's got like a little mini perfume bottle, which is like a roller ball, and then it's got this spray. I really, really love this. I would say to me it smells very like warm, very vanilla-y, which is my sort of scent, the other kind of scents I love, but I find it's not too strong and overpowering, because I do have other like perfumes that I love for autumn winter that are a bit deeper and darker and have vanilla tones, but I find them a bit heavy for daytime wear, whereas this I feel like I can wear in the daytime because it's not too like strong or overpowering. Like, I have a perfume that I love, but it's like a tobacco and vanilla scent, and the tobacco just makes it a little bit too intense for daytime wear. Whereas this I really, really love. It says it's got notes of caramel, pistachio, pink pepper, ginger, cocoa beans, vanilla, sandalwood, tonka beans, which I would totally agree with. I can smell that. I will say it's like a very vanilla-y perfume, but it's not a sweet vanilla. I don't like a really, really sweet like marshmallowy vanilla. It's just got that really nice warming scent, which I especially love for the autumn winter. And yeah, it feels very warm on the skin, which I really, really love, and it's just a really nice perfume. I also find it lasts really nicely on me, and I also think for a perfume it's not too expensive. I got this little set. I got it from Space & K. I'll link it down below because I think it's actually a good little set if you want to try out the perfume, and it's also really good for travel. I will say, like, it's not the most luxury branding I've ever seen on perfume, but for a perfume that I think is around £70, I think that's pretty good, because I feel like a lot of perfumes now are up and over £100, so I think £70 is pretty good. I really like it. I think it's a very like well-rounded scent. I think it would be quite a crowd pleaser scent, if I'm honest. Definitely giving me those autumn winter vibes. Okay, there are all the beauty things I want to mention. The next thing I'm going to mention is a fashion favourite, and it's a pair of shoes. Now, if you watch my vlogs or watched any of my recent fashion videos, you would have seen these. It's this pair of loafers. Now, I got these from Marks and Spencer's because my old loafers were like falling apart, so I took a risk and bought these from Marks and Spencer's. I really love the detailing of them. I really love like a penny loafer, but I love that these had the ruching detailing around the toe. I feel like it just gave it a little something extra, because I don't always love like a loafer with hardware, so I felt like this looked classic but still like pretty stylish. It's just that ruching, but I love these. They barely have come off my feet, and one of the main reasons for that is these are so comfortable. I don't know if you can see this. They are so soft. They are leather, but they're such a soft, lovely leather that even when they first arrived in the post, I didn't have to break these in at all. They were like comfortable from the get-go. I wear them to work all the time, and when I go to work I often do over 10,000 steps, and they don't irritate my feet at all. They can get a little sensitive on the ball of my feet, but I think my feet are just quite sensitive. But I mean, I'm still walking over 10,000 steps, so that, you know, I'm probably gonna have slightly sort of balls on my feet. I just really, really love them. I feel like they go with a lot. I am definitely like a loafer person. I live in loafers like all year round, to be honest with you. And these are just really, really comfortable, and I really like the look of them. And honestly, I think like for the price point, because I think they were like £55–60, I think they are really, really good quality. But I mean, they're getting a little bit scuffed on the back. I mean, I've literally been wearing them nearly every day, pretty much every time I leave the house. I also just love a shoe that like I don't have to faff around with laces. I just love them, and I think they're like really good for like dressing up outfits or just wearing every day, just with a pair of jeans or whatnot. I'm intrigued to try more like shoes from Marks and Spencer's, because I just feel like if they're all as comfortable as these, my feet will be very, very happy, because I really struggle with shoes. my feet are like in constant pain from shoes. I do want to recommend them. I will leave them linked down below. I don't think they're sold out actually. I think they did sell out, but I think they're back in stock. Okay, and then the next thing I want to mention is kind of a food. It's not really a food, but if you watch my vlogs, you will know that I've been on a little bit of a running journey, and I decided to dive into the world of gels, which I was putting off for ages. Don't know why I've been putting off trying gels, because I find these are really helpful for my runs. I only really take these, well, for two reasons. Firstly, if I'm running a long distance and I find that I'm starting to flag a little bit and I need to replenish my energy, I will take one of these during my runs. I find they're actually really easy to take during runs. I was a little bit nervous. I did try like a gummy, but the idea of chewing when I'm running kind of freaked me out a little bit. But with a gel, I just find them really easy to like ingest whilst I'm running. I do kind of take them slowly over like a couple of kilometers. I don't take it the whole thing in one go. I will like ingest it quite slowly, and I just find they really help boost my energy and help, like, not necessarily that I was struggling to get to the end of my runs, but like just keep my energy up so I'm running at a constant pace, or even towards the end. And I kind of like to take them like a little bit before I know that I'm going to start getting tired. I don't know if they work. I don't know if they're placebo. I'm pretty sure they're probably all sugar and they're probably not that great for me, and I don't even want to read the ingredients list, but I find they do work really nicely. This is just the brand I've tried because they just sold it in Boots, and I picked up a couple just to try. And I like them, so I bought the variety pack. The other reason I really like these is I am someone who tends to run first thing in the morning, and I find it really difficult to fuel before my run when I run first thing in the morning, because I just can't eat that early. And number two, also, like, I'm literally getting out of bed, getting ready for my run and going for my run, so like the time I'm awake is like 20 minutes, so I don't really have time to eat something that I can easily digest in time before I'm running. So I like actually taking these on my early morning runs, even if I'm like running 5k, just to, like, if I feel like I need the energy and I need to fuel during the run, I can do, because I find like they're not going to give me a stitch or anything, and I find them actually really good for that. And I actually find them quite tasty. I was a little bit nervous they were going to taste like gross, but I actually find them quite tasty. I definitely prefer like the more citrus ones, which is a little bit weird because normally I'm more of a berry flavored person, but I actually prefer like the orange and mango. I've not tried the apple yet. Like I said, I bought them in Boots. They do also do like little single sachets, so if you just want to try a couple, you can. But I find they're really helping me on my running journey, and I know this is a little bit niche. I thought I'd just mention them because I'm really enjoying them, and if you are someone who's new to running and I feel like the whole running thing can be very overwhelming and you're having similar issues to me, I would recommend. Okay, and then the next thing that I want to mention is kind of a random favourite, but it's a device, and it is this little camera. It is from the brand Camp Snap. It's kind of marketed as a screen-free digital camera. It kind of looks like a digital camera. It feels as light as a digital camera. However, it doesn't use film, so you just turn it on, take a picture, and then you actually just attach it to, it has to be a computer. And you can take the pictures off the computer, which I thought was actually a really good idea, and I actually bought it specifically for when we went to Lisbon. I liked the idea of like taking photos that aren't necessarily on my phone. I know it's kind of like the same because they're still like on the screen, but I think it's a fun idea because you can kind of take the picture and then you don't know what it's going to look like until, like, we were literally taking pictures all over Lisbon, and I was like, we could get home and these could all look terrible. And you know, and then some of them, like my sleeve is in the frame or my thumb was in the frame or something. It gives like a nice effect to photos. I will insert a couple of examples of some photos I've taken on it, and I just find it pretty good. I think it's quite fun. The one I have has got this like cow print, which not all of them do. What I liked about this compared to a digital camera is we use digital cameras for the wedding, and they actually came out quite expensive because like buying a digital camera was like £25, and then like developing them was quite expensive. And I think it's a really lovely idea, but it can be quite an expensive feat. Whereas this, I believe they're about £65, but you get 4,000 photos. And I actually, when I bought it, it was on sale, so I think I got it for £42. So for 4,000 photos, I thought that was pretty good. And you kind of get the same effect as a digital camera. Obviously, you don't get them like developed and printed, and they're not on film. But I mean, obviously you can print them and they give a nice effect, and I just really like it. And I thought I'd mention it in this video because I did mention it in a vlog, and I said I'd keep you updated on how I think about what I think of it, and I really love it. We obviously didn't take 4,000 photos in Lisbon, so I've been using it through like autumn, and it's been really, really cute. I think it just gives a really cute effect. I kind of want to use it over Christmas, and it's just nice to take photos. It's gonna sound like really narcissistic, but I get photos when we're out and about of me when I want to like post my outfit or something on Instagram, but I don't tend to take a lot of photos of stuff around me, and I feel like this has really encouraged me to actually take photos of like the surroundings, which I know is like such a 2025 sentence, but I really, really like it, and I think it's cute. I just wanted to mention it because I really enjoyed using it and I'm really loving the effect of the photos. Okay, and then lastly, I wanted to mention some music favourites. I always like talking about my music favourites in these videos. So I have 3 albums that I want to mention because they're pretty much all I've been listening to for the past couple of months. The first one is Audrey Hobert, Who's the Clown. I really, really love this album. I really love Audrey. I feel like her songs have like a humour and like a personality to them that I really, really enjoy, and she really has that like personality in her songwriting, almost like an awkwardness that I think is conveyed really well. I've watched a couple of interviews with her. For me, it's a no skip album. It's also like a nice length. It's like a 35 minutes. Yeah, Shooting Star, Thirst Trap and Drive are my favourites, but I love the whole album. Like I say, it's a no skip album for me, and it's just really entertaining, and I love her style of songwriting. I've actually managed to get tickets to go see her next year, which I'm very, very excited for. It's a debut album, so I'm very excited to see what else she's gonna do. The other album that I am obsessed with is Conan Gray, Wishbone. Not really listened to that much like of Conan Gray previously, but he released this song as a single and I became obsessed with it. I also have to say I love the music videos. He did this song, Vodka Cranberry and Caramel, and like the story told throughout the 3 music videos I really, really loved. I love when people make good music videos, so I really, really appreciated that. And I love the album. I actually run to it quite a lot because I find it a really good album to run to. It's got like that upbeatness without it being too like upbeat that I run too fast, and I really love the whole album. My favourites are My World, I would say this song and Vodka Cranberry, and 1111. 1111 is by far my favourite. 1111 is a song that I could listen to on repeat like 15 times over and not get bored of, and normally when I'm running and it comes on I actually like go back and listen to it again. Or I also love Care, and I like Sunset Tower. I like the whole album. I could name you every song. And then the last album will come as no surprise if you know me, and that is The Life of a Showgirl by Taylor Swift. I know there's a lot of discourse around this album and some people really, really hate it. Even like some like long-time Swifties are saying they don't really like this album. On first listen I was a bit like, oh, I'm not sure, because I am a very, and I don't mean just this in a Taylor Swift way, I'm a very lyrical person, and I tend to prefer a sad song. Like my favourite song on the Tortured Poets Department is LOML, which is like one of the most depressing songs. So yeah, I am more of a lyrical person, but I love this album. I think it's just so fun. I think it's infectious. I am constantly singing lines from all of the songs, not just like one song like that. I get like one song stuck in my head and I'll sing that one over, and then the next day I'll have a different song stuck in my head, and I just really, really love it. I also have to say I like that it's shorter. Like I loved the Tortured Poets Department, but I really love, especially the first few times I listened to an album, listening to an album in full. And with the Tortured Poets Department I had to treat that as 2 albums, like the Tortured Poets Department and the anthology, to be able to do that. So I really actually do love that this album's a bit shorter, because it means I've been able to have more time with it as an album as a whole, which has worked really nicely for me. Don't get me wrong, I love the Tortured Poets Department and I love when she gives like 30+ songs, but I do like that she kept this one shorter. My favourites, I mean, to be honest, all of them. I really love We're in the Friendship, I really love Father Figure, I love Wood, and I love Honey. I see Honey at the bottom of a lot of lists on rankings, and Honey is probably actually one of my favourites. Honey is probably my favourite, if I'm honest. Like I just sing Honey constantly in my head. But like I said, I love the whole album. I love the whole vibe. It's just a really fun album, I think, and that's what I kind of take it out of. Also not my like usual like autumn vibe. Again, I like more of a mellow acoustic-y vibe in autumn, but I really love the album. But I think that is all the favourites that I wanted to mention in this video. I will try leave linked everything down below if you want to check any of this out. If you did enjoy this video and do enjoy favourites videos, I'd love it if you could give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below what is your current favourite, whether that's a music favourite, beauty favourite, whatever. I'd love to hear it. If you're new to my channel, I'd love it if you could subscribe, and I will see you all next week for a brand new one. Goodbye.